you so much, Philip. Thank you, Julia, for inviting me, and thanks everyone for being here. So as Philip already said, like I unfortunately have to maybe leave a bit early. So please don't take this personally if I'm just disappearing at some point in time. Okay, so yeah, I think the stuff I want to briefly share with you is like my relatively positive experience with the course portal, like this very first session that you offer to your students. And like in my case, like in this course that I developed at ETH, so I try to really kind of follow all the advice that I got from Philip and Eric in the preparation for my course, namely to really kind of write a syllabus. I think this is one of the key things that I really try to do, and I sat down and try to write a good syllabus, super clear and nicely structured. So that's something I invested time in, and that I felt was the key step in also designing my first session with the students, because then essentially I had all the stuff I wanted to talk them through already ready. It was already available, and that was really nice. And also I communicated this the syllabus before the first session, so they could already have a look at it. And of course, I emphasized during the first session and also later in the course that they can always have a look at the syllabus. So I think, long story short, I think the syllabus really worked well, in my opinion. It kind of gave the structure that students rely on and they need for the start of a course. And then the course portal, this first session, this first joint session, essentially I just went through that material after a first kind of topical introduction and kind of a teaser why I think that this course is interesting and important to them. I just went through the different parts of the syllabus and reiterated it and re-emphasized why this is important and why we want to go there. And I felt this helped in the sense that I almost never got a question during the semester, oh, what again was that? Or why do we need to do this? And why do we have to hand this in and by what time? Because the answer has always been, oh, it's in the syllabus. And we talked about this extensively in the first session. And yeah, so it's not like a breakthrough invention now that I can give you here. It's mostly like the resources that LET kind of provided us with, like really this encouragement to work on the syllabus. In my mind, this is really super helpful, and really to take time in this first session to just talk about this and not start too much of your content, so to speak, right? Rather invest really a lot of time in this first session. So maybe that's where I can stop first in terms of this course portal, and then maybe I can say one or two more words on this, this portal in every single session and every single lecture that I also try to work on a bit. So what I essentially tried different formats, like in the first semester when I gave that course pre-pandemic, I just sent emails, and then during the pandemic, what I tried to do was to also use Loom, like more of those online or digital technologies to tell students, okay, this week it's going to be about this and that, and last week we did this and that. And I have to say, like, the emails I felt worked personally for me better, but I think not so much because the format of the Loom videos is a bad one. It's just like, I think I was tired of recording all the lectures and handling all the other material, that I was not 100% awake when I recorded those Loom sessions. And I felt like this drizzled out a bit and students did not really watch them, and essentially I didn't have the feeling I was conveying a real message in those videos. So essentially it's the take-home message probably is, if you do those messages, you should have something to tell them, and if you do that, then it's fine to use it. And I think it's a great format, and I think at the very beginning students like to see me but then I just didn't provide enough content, I think, in the end. Whereas when I sent the emails in the first semester, when I was not so busy keeping all these digital formats together, I felt like, oh yeah, I sat down and really kind of recapitulated what we worked on last week and gave like a bit of an overview about what is going to come. And I felt that helped myself, and I felt also the students, at least the feedback, if I recall correctly, was quite positive about those weekly messages that I send out. So yeah, so I don't want to say anything against the Loom videos. I use Loom quite a bit when I collaborate with other researchers to kind of briefly summarize my own ideas. And I think it can be super helpful for the teaching context, but yeah, in my case, I felt it didn't work super well. Okay, I think maybe I can stop here, and maybe there are some questions. So otherwise I get into this and talk about this stuff for another 10 minutes, which is probably not super helpful for everyone.